Thank you for watching. This is StitchinJenny, and today I'd like to show you how to use a rotary cutter to cut width of fabric strips. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the rotary cutter. This is a very sharp item and it can cut you badly. This button on this rotary cutter, when you press this button, there's a latch on the back of it that you can flip left or right so that you can use it for left-handed or right-handed rotary cutting. With the blade in this position, I'll hold it in my right hand beside the ruler and go like this. With the blade in the other position, it's meant to hold it in your left hand. I want to show you a little bit of safety things about the rotary cutter. One thing, always park your blade. Always, always, always park the blade when you're not using it. That way, if you set it aside and you randomly grab for it, you don't slice your fingers. The blade is parked. This is plastic protecting the edge of the blade. When it's like this, if I grab for it, I'm going to bleed. Also, when you're using a rotary cutter, cut away from yourself. So if I'm going to cut this, if I want to cut a slice right here, it's important to always let the rotary cutter travel away from your body. That's acceptable. Do not pull it towards yourself. That is not safe. Cut away from yourself and then lock your blade. Another safety tip, when you're going to cut your fabric, make sure your fingers are not in the path of your blade. Do you see where my fingers are? This is like a train wreck waiting to happen. Ah, see? Oh no. Get your fingers away from that blade. Have them over here. And that way you can cut. Does that make sense? Where is this from? It's quilterselect.com if you're looking for that particular rotary cutter. And then I also have a Quilter Select ruler. The reason I like this is because it's got a rubbery grip texture to the back so that the ruler doesn't slip and slide as much on my fabric. And then this is a self-healing mat, and it's also from the same company. Here we are. This fabric is being opened up so that you can see from one selvage edge across to the other. That is called the width of the fabric. Now you want to fold it so that the selvages are on top of one another. And be fussy about that. Make sure they're aligned nicely. And smooth it. And look, this edge isn't even. That's why I'm going to do what's called truing the fabric. So I want to align the selvage edge with a lateral line on the mat. And I want to align the uneven edge across one of the vertical lines on the mat. So the uneven edge is laying past that vertical line. Now I'm going to place my ruler on the edge, exactly on the edge of that line. And that way I can slice away the excess fabric. I'm using the top end of the line and the bottom end of the line to help me make sure my ruler is straight, but I'm also looking at the lateral lines on the ruler itself, and the bottom edge of the ruler is straight too, so I can use that. And I'm going to place the bottom edge of the ruler even with one of the lateral lines on the mat, and that's to make sure, double sure, that my ruler's not crooked somehow before I make my cut. I'm going to apply downward pressure with my opposing hand as I use the rotary cutter blade right along the edge of that ruler. And with my right hand, I'm pressing down firmly as I slice with my left hand. And I'm doing kind of an inchworm thing as the rotary cutter travels. My hand travels with it to make sure that the ruler doesn't scooch off to the side. Now I want to cut a 2-inch wide strip the width of the fabric. And so I'm aligning the 2-inch marker of the ruler on top of my strip of fabric. And this is so that I don't accidentally cut into the piece that's going to become my strip.
I'm cutting right-handed now, and I'm still doing that inchworm thing with my hand that's not cutting, just to make sure the ruler doesn't scooch off to the side. Removing the ruler and then pulling that fabric away. Ta-da! A nice cut. Now open up your fabric, lay it on your mat just to check that it was really cut straight. Be sure to visit StitchinJenny.com for more videos.